How did you get, everybody wants to know, how did you get your first gig in the music business? There's always a story to
To touch upon something you said really quick, for those of you out there that want to get in the mainstream business, it ain't what it used to be. Like, the outskirts are actually, there's a lot going on the outskirts. Start thinking outside the box. There's that. When I was a little girl, I knew I was going to be on the radio. It was just a matter of when. I was in the scoring zone, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
So I went to college in Jacksonville. I went to UNF, and I got my heart broken for the first time. I know, it really sucked. It was like the worst. You know, you don't want to be alone, but you don't want to be with your friends. It sucked. So after I left my dorm room for the first time in like months, I realized the only thing I wanted was to be happy again. What was going to make me happy? Music. The local radio station was playing, they had an appearance at a club nearby. The station was called Planet Radio. It was Planet Radio 93.3. So I went to this club, and the DJ was just there doing his appearance, and I ran up to him and I said, "How do I get an internship?" And he's like, "I get asked this a million times a night." And I'm like, "No, seriously, like, who do I call?"
Seriously,
he gave me, I was like, "Seriously, dude, I'm not one of those people that's just like, I want to work here because I want to." No, just tell me whose coffee I need to fetch, and I will go fetch it. And it was a woman by the name of Tina Morris. I called her once a week for like 3 months or something like that, and I left her these very serious voicemails. I was like, "Listen, I know that I'm going to sound like a lunatic, but this is what I want to do. I'm willing to start at the bottom. I'm not a nutbag. I just want to work in music." She finally called me back. She gave me an internship, and I wasn't there so much as 2 months before they put me on the air.
Okay.
Because I learned the most important thing. When I got that internship, I learned everything. Like the mail room, I learned production. I learned to do the stuff that everybody else didn't want to do. I learned how to do everything because one guy there, program director by the name of Rick Schmidt, said, "Learn to wear as many hats as possible."
I think that's great advice, and I think you also mentioned something that's good advice for people that are just starting off, is don't be precious. You don't start at the top, you start at the bottom. And if you're too proud to pick up somebody's coffee or to go fetch, somebody's hat or whatever it might be, you're probably going to have a tough time getting in the music business because there's so many more people that want to get in than there are places to get. That it's the people that are willing to do what it takes, that are persistent to the core, right? That's a key part of it. You can't be a stalker, but I appreciate persistence, and I've said no a million times to ultimately say yes.
Proactive and persistent.
And professional about it. So.
And you know what else? Starting at the bottom is where you have the best vantage point because you can see everything that's going on, and you're kind of under the radar. So nobody knows that you're watching and listening, but yet you've got everybody's like secrets and, oh, you're doing that and that's how that works. And these are the politics. So you learn quietly from watching where nobody can see you.
Okay, now let me ask you this. How did you get your gig at KROQ?
So I was working at a station in Miami, and I didn't see eye to eye, let's just put it that way, with the program director at the time, so he fired me.
Any lessons learned there?
No.
No, okay.
No, other than you're not always going to get along with everybody you work with.
Okay.
You're just not always going to gel with people. Yeah. And so he fired me, and I thought it was the end of the world. I literally just wanted to curl up in a ball and die. But somebody within that building sent an air check of mine to KROQ, to Kevin Weatherly, and I got a call like 4 days after I got fired saying, "Hey, Nicole, this is Kevin Weatherly from KROQ." And I'm thinking, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they're being punked.
Clink. And he was serious. He's like, "A mutual friend, send me your tape. I think it's great. I want to fly you out here." He flew me out, auditioned me, and hired me.
And you've been there how long now?
9 years.
9 years.
9
Great
years.
Story. Great story.
It's like Cinderella story. But it can happen. You just got to see it in your head. I know it sounds really corny and cheesy, but it happens. You don't let anything else, no ifs, ands, or buts get in the way. You just kind of like keep moving forward.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, it's good advice, and it speaks to the whole notion. You never know when you're in the scoring zone where something good could happen for you. So you got to be persistent. You got to be. You just got to be determined, and relentless is the word I use. A lot, and sometimes the word people use about me is relentless.
There's a term called blind faith, and I have a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'm an endless dreamer. I've never seen something as absolutely impossible. Like if there's something I want to do, like that little girl in me that's like, I'm gonna do that when I grow up, I will always do it.